My name is Alan Carter. I'm the President and CEO of Cabral Gold. Cabral Gold is a relatively new company. We listed on the TSX Venture Exchange in October of last year. We have a gold project in Brazil, and we're actively working on it. So, without further ado, we've been in Brazil quite some time. The management team, of which I'm obviously a part, has made 5 gold discoveries in Brazil with 43-101 compliant ounces in the last 15 years or so, the most notable of which would be Tocantinzinho, which is an advanced asset owned by Eldorado Gold. They have a feasibility study on it, and it is in the final stages of permitting. The Cuiú project itself is pretty interesting. We already have an established resource on it of about 1.3 million ounces. It's a historic resource which was based on 26,000 meters of drilling that was done between 2008 and 2011. Subsequent to the publication of that resource, there was another 22,000 meters of drilling completed. And so we are currently in the process of incorporating all that additional drill data. So within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we should have an updated resource out on the project. Very large gold in soil anomaly. It's 18 kilometers long at a 70 ppb threshold, which for us in this part of the world is anomalous. And I think most significantly for you folks is that we have drill intercepts in 8 separate target areas outside of the resource, all within that 18 kilometer long trend. And in addition, we probably have, I've lost count, but there's probably 15 to 20 high grade showings where we have some interesting gold values on surface that have never been tested. So it's pretty exceptional property. Lots of news coming out. We're currently trenching ahead of drilling. So lots of news coming out in the next few months. Relatively small share structure. We only have 31 million shares on issue, and we have $3.5 million in cash. Talk a little bit about the management very briefly. Mark Smith has just joined us as Executive Chairman. There are lots of Mark Smiths in our business, but this one is an investment banker, an ex-investment banker and a geologist, and he worked as an analyst. Rory McKnight is our manager in Brazil. Some of you guys will know Rory. Rory was one of the founders of Serabi Gold and was instrumental in putting the Palito gold mine into production in northern Brazil. And the board of directors includes Charles Oliver, who was fund manager for Sprott in Toronto for many years, Dennis Moore, who's a geologist, who's the guy that really discovered this project, and Derek Wyrush, who's a chartered accountant. We're in northern Brazil, up here in Pará State. If some of you will be familiar with Belo Sun's project, which is about 800 kilometers to the east of us, it's in a separate region. The Tapajós region, guys, is special, and it's special for one reason. This is the site of the world's largest ever gold rush in history. Between 1978 and 1995, there was 1 million people rushed up to this area and washed about somewhere between 20 and 30 million ounces of gold from the streams. So as a management team, we've been on a bit of a quest for the last few years, trying to run down the hard rock sources of this placer gold, or as many hard rock sources of this placer gold as we possibly can. There's a big regional trend coming through here, which I won't get into. I think there's 6 projects within the trend, 2 of which are mines with 43-101 compliant resources on them right now. We've been instrumental in the discovery of 3 of those. We're very close to Eldorado Gold's project. Their project here to the south in this black area, in a smaller yellow circle, produced about 200,000 ounces from the streams. They now have an advanced project, which is a 2 million ounce hard rock resource. This area to the north here is our area in yellow, which produced 2 million ounces from the stream. So that 10 times as much gold was washed from the streams here as it was down here. Of course, our project is nothing like as advanced as theirs yet. This is the gold in soil anomaly. The main technique that's used in this part of the world is soil sampling to define where the actual gold is derived from. Notable thing here is the scale bar. You're looking at the gold content of the soils based on 12,000 soil samples. This is a 5 kilometer long scale bar. This is an enormous gold in soil anomaly. The resources that we've got so far, the 1.3 million ounces I mentioned earlier, are in 2 areas, Central, and the black dots are obviously where we've drilled, are in Central and Moreira Gomez, which we'll have a very brief look at. They're open pit, they're low grade, 1 to 1.5 grams. There's lots of high grade showings here that weren't previously tested and that are new. You can see we've drilled a few holes in several other areas here. And there's 9 other areas here that have had some drilling. Some of them only 1 hole. 8 of those areas have cut gold values that could be considered economic. So we'll have a zoom in quickly and have a quick look. This map, just going back, is this area in here where the bulk of the gold in soil anomaly is. We've got some very interesting anomalies up here too, but I'm not going to say anything else about those. But if you look at that central area, the white areas are where the placer miners mined gold from the streams. The essential thing of this is the first deposit we found, 600,000 ounces. There's 700,000 ounces at 1.5 grams in through here. This is a new deposit that will come into the next resource update. Most of the gold that was mined in these streams all the way through here, and all this area to the south, we have no idea where it's coming from yet. We haven't done the drilling. As yet, it's unexplained. But we'll have a quick look at this area at Central and this area of Morera Gomez quickly. This is the central deposit here. What you're looking at on the right is the gold in soil anomaly. It's very large gold in soil anomaly here. And you're looking at the same map area with the streams on a satellite image with the streams. The key thing about this is we have some very interesting drill intercepts outside the current resource. 27 meters at 6.9 grams, immediately south of the resource. 39 meters at 1.3 up here, right on the northern end of it. And in Powder Merenda, which is a couple of kilometers away, we've got multiple intercepts, including 47 meters at 1.8. So I'm pretty bullish that this thing's going to grow. As I said, this thing right now is 600,000 ounces. It could be a lot larger, and I'm sure it is. If you look at the second deposit we found, an even more compelling story I'd suggest to you, this is 700,000 ounces through here at 1.5 grams. It's an east-west structure, so it's a different orientation. Again, gold in soil on the right, the satellite image is on the left. There's multiple areas here, some with only a couple of holes or 1 hole. This is 3.3 meters at 7.4 grams. Up here we got 39 meters at 5 grams. Jeremunbajo has 41 meters at 1.3, etc., etc. Now, what we appear to have outlined here, we've got 700,000 ounces on 1 east-west structure. There are now 6 additional structures that we have a finger on, 2 of which have never even been drilled and not even on this map. If you look at the last press release with the trench results, there's some very nice samples in there with visible gold. From an area here, it's not even on our map here, it's called Morro de Lua. There's an area in here which is new called Jeremunbajo. Again, lots of visible gold coming out on the surface. It's a nice wide zone, 15 meters wide. So if any of these other 6 structures just in this part of the area come up with something, you're looking at a significant upgrade to the current 700,000 ounces in this part of the project. Just talking about objectives. So the objective here, key catalyst for us in the next 2 or 3 weeks is to update the resource. Lots of results coming out in the trenching program. We're doing some infill soil sampling, and we should start drilling in the 3rd quarter of this year. And that really is it. I don't have a lot of time. If anybody wants to chat, I'll be around for the rest of the day. I'm in booth E7, and you guys can get me through the website. But essentially, small market cap, $10 million market cap, $3.5 million is cash. The enterprise on this company is $6.5 million. So if you convert that to a per ounce basis, it's $3.5 US dollars an ounce. Lots of news, very big soil anomaly. We think this is going to be one of the largest gold deposits in Brazil. And we've already got 1.3 million ounces defined. Thanks very much.